So we are doing chapter number 2 and we finished till verse number 8. Correct? And today we are supposed to do verse number 9. Am I right?
Right.
Okay. So please repeat after me while being muted. Sanjay Uvacha.
Sanjay Vacha.
आपको म्यूट रखिए आप. Keep yourself muted. Sanjay Uvacha. Evam muktva rishikesham. Everybody should recite. I see some lips not moving. Move your lips. See, these verses are spoken by Krishna or Arjuna, not ordinary people. They have come through the lips of Krishna. Just imagine, Krishna has spoken these verses and now you are speaking those verses. So wonderful, no? So, as I mentioned, simply by reciting these verses, one gets purified. What to speak when you implement or execute meaning of these verses in your life. But simply by recitation, it will purify our consciousness. Okay? So you may go wrong in the beginning. Don't worry about it. Just try. You get, 90 marks out of 100 only for trial. Okay? So just try. Sanjay Uvacha Evam Muktva Rishikesham Gudakesha Parantapaha Nayosaya Govindam Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha. Sanjay Uvacha Evam Muktava Rishikesham Gudakesha Parantapa Nayosaya Govindam Uktva Tushnim Babhuvaha. One more time. Okay. Now I'll unmute one of you, maybe Rajendra Prabhu. Okay. Yes, please recite after me, Prabhuji. Sanjay Uvacha
Sanjay Vacha.
Evam Muktava Rishikesham
Evam Muktava Rishikesham.
Gudakesha Parantapa
Gudakesha Parantapa.
Na Yosaya iti Govindam
Na Yotse iti Govindam.
Uktava Tushnim Babhuvaha.
Muktava Krishnim Vahu.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful. So, word by word meaning. Sanjaya Uvacha means Sanjaya said. Evam, thus. Uktava, speaking. Rishikesham, unto Krishna, the master of senses. Gudakeshaha, Arjuna, the master of curbing ignorance. Parantapaha, the chastiser of enemies. Na yosaye, I shall not fight. Iti, thus, Govindam, unto Krishna, the giver of pleasure to senses. Uktava, saying. Tushnim, silent. Babhuvaha, became. Ha, certainly. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sanjaya said, Having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Please repeat after me. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. Purport. Dipesh Prabhuji, will you read the purport? Do you have Bhagavad Gita with you?
Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Hare
Yes, I have the website open.
Just read this purport.
Dhritarashtra must have been very glad to understand that Arjuna was not going to fight and instead leaving the battlefield for the begging profession.
Aram, Jaldbazi nahi.
Sorry.
Clearly, Dhritarashtra must have been very glad to understand that Arjuna was
not going to fight and was instead leaving the battlefield for the begging profession. But Sanjaya disappointed him again in relating that Arjuna was competent to kill his enemies. Although Arjuna was, for the time being, overwhelmed with false grief due to family affection, he surrendered unto Krishna, the supreme spiritual master, as a disciple. This indicated that he would soon be free from the false lamentation resulting from family affection and would be enlightened with perfect knowledge of self-realization or Krishna consciousness and would then surely fight. Thus, Dhritarashtra's joy would be frustrated since Arjuna would be enlightened by Krishna and would fight to the end.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So who remembers essence of what we discussed in the previous session? Quickly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In the 8th verse, means the summary is like whenever there is confusion of mind or you are puzzled or perplexity of life, if you surrender to Krishna, means a spiritual master, not Krishna exactly, a spiritual master, so he can guide you or he can give you some light, throw light so that you can understand how to solve your problems. So Arjuna was searching for this spiritual master, which is Lord Krishna itself.
Okay,
So,
thank you, Prabhu. Yes.
He surrendered actually.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Anyone else would like to add?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So there are.
Who all have a notebook and a pen making notes? Okay. So जिनके पास नहीं है, I'll give 1 minute. Please pick up a notebook and a pen and make notes. Just remember your old times when you used to go to school. I used to make notes, and so that you can, go back and revise. Yes, Meenal Mati, please go ahead.
So it is impossible to solve the perplexities of life without a spiritual master. And Lord Chaitanya said that one who is Krishna conscious, regardless of his social position, can solve the problems of his life. Most of the people think that most of the people have only 4 things, that is Ahar, Nidra, Bhaya and Methuncha, that they would do, but these are not the goals of, but these are not what are the problems of life. The main problems of life are 4: Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukh, Dushanu and Dukh. So we have to find solution to these real life problems, and any human being who can study Bhagavad Gita can understand the real purpose of human life. Then there are 4 types of people who take shelter of Krishna. First is Artho, someone who is distressed. Second is Jigyasu, the one who is curious. Third is Artharthi, someone who wants money. Fourth is Gyani, the one who is knowledge seeker. So Arjuna was distressed and therefore he took the shelter of Lord Krishna or Bhagavad Gita. And then who is eligible to become a guru? Anyone can become guru who has understood the real science of body and soul, who has understood Krishna consciousness, and he can be from then means it doesn't matter that what in actual he has studied, he can be a guru. And also none of the material opulences can solve our life problems. Our main life problems can only be solved once we know the real essence of life by knowing the real essence of Bhagavad Gita. So
Very good. Wonderful. Very good. Thank you. Rita Mata is clapping for you. Very good, Miral Mata. Wonderful. It shows we have done revision after the class. Very nice. Anybody else would like to add? Yes, Mahajan Prabhuji.
आपने एक बड़ी सी बात बताई थी लास्ट टाइम में, स्वर्ग इज ए मटेरियल प्लैनेट, नॉट ए स्पिरिचुअल प्लैनेट.
Yes.
That whatever we do in this life, it only gives you some part time in the heaven, depending upon how much good deeds you have done. But it's not a spiritual planet.
Yes. It is not a spiritual planet. Very good.
And you have said for soul, one needs to spread spiritual knowledge.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So essence was, for all material problems, if you really want to solve them, we have to take shelter of spiritual solutions. Materially, we cannot solve any problem. However advanced we may become, we cannot solve the problems. For example, at the best, to cover our old age, we may discover dye to color our hair, or we may discover some chemicals like age miracle to hide, our pimples. We can superficially hide these problems. We cannot solve these problems. समझ आया आपको? So any material solution cannot solve these problems. Only spiritually we can solve this problem. And hence, spirituality is not a part-time business of life. It is a main business of life. It is not a choice to be made. It is a necessity of life. It is a necessity of life. It is not a choice that if I get time, I'll try to understand something about spirituality. If I get time. No. Time is only to understand spirituality part of life. Okay, to solve all material problems. We should not forget this. Thank you, everyone. If any point is missed, others can add. You can raise your hand and then you can add if you think anything is missed. Okay, we'll go ahead. Yes, Preeti Mataji.
One thing I think we have not mentioned this one. Yagyas, charities, opening hospital, these are all social activities, not spiritual. Only body gets benefited and nothing is done for the soul.
Yes, very good. So anything you do for the body is a temporary solution, not the permanent solution. And through Bhagavad Gita, we are trying to seek permanent. Like if you get a fever and you go to doctor, if doctor is intelligent, he will diagnose what is the root cause. Correct? Then he'll see whether it's a typhoid or it's a cholera or it's whatever. What is the root cause? And hence he'll give you the medicine to eradicate the problem from the root. If a doctor is not intelligent, he'll give you what? Paracetamol. चलो इसको खा लो, है ना? And then you eat paracetamol, after 2 hours, oh, fever नहीं है, ठीक हो गए, रात को फिर से हो गया. And this is a temporary patch-up solution. And we don't want such solutions. You remember what did Arjuna say? Yashreya sya nishchitam bruhitan me You tell me a Shreyas solution, not what is the opposite of Shreyas?
Yes.
Prayers. So Arjuna is not interested in temporary solution, but the whole world is only interested in temporary, instant patch-up solutions. But the students of Bhagavad Gita are not interested in temporary solution. They are seeking what? Permanent solution, which will solve the problem from its root. So it doesn't happen again. Okay. Now in this word, Sanjay is speaking. Sanjay uvacha means Sanjaya said. What did he say? Evam uktava rishikesham. Now he is using this term called rishikesham. Now what is rishikesham? Rishikesham means is a combination of two words, Rishika and Isha. Rishikesha. Rishika and Isha. Rishika means, listen very carefully. Rishika means senses. Senses means what? You understand senses, no? What are senses? What senses we have? Common sense. What senses we have?
5 senses, Guruji.
5, we have knowledge acquiring senses. These are called Jnanendriya. And 5 working senses called Karmendriya. These 10 senses plus mind, total 11. Okay, 5 Karmendriya or working sense like hands, legs, they're working senses. And 5 Jnanendriya to acquire knowledge like eyes, ears, nose, tongue, to acquire knowledge. So tongue is a working sense also and knowledge acquiring sense also. With tongue you can speak, it's working, it's an action. And with tongue you can find out the taste, is good taste or bad taste. Because it is knowledge acquiring. So tongue serves both the purposes. So these senses and Isha, Isha means Ishwar, controller. So Rishikesha means who is the master of these senses or controller of these senses. But we think these are my senses. These are my hands. These are my eyes. These are my ears. Yes or no? We all think like this, no? ये सब मेरा है, मेरा शरीर है, मेरी आंखें हैं, मेरा नाक है, मेरा कान है. But we are not the master of this body. Why? How can you say? You may say this hand is mine and hence I'm able to move it, correct? But when hand is paralyzed, can you move it? Why? What happened? Because the power to move has been withdrawn by the master of the hand, master of senses. In 18.61, you can open 18.61, 18th chapter and 61 number verse. What does Krishna say? He says, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. जिसको हम ढूंढ रहे हैं गली गली, वो कहाँ है? हमारे हृदय में बैठे हैं, है ना? कहाँ बैठे हैं? He is sitting in our heart. Ishvara sarvabhutanam, all living entities, not only human beings, even in the heart of an ant, Supreme Lord is residing. So be careful next time when you kill an ant. Okay. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe, in the heart, in the core of the heart. Tishtati, sitting. I am sitting. I am sitting in everybody's heart. Then he says, Brahmayan sarvabhutani Yantra arudani mayaya. And what is he doing? He is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine. This material body, Krishna is saying, what is this? Yantra arudani. It is a machine made up of maya or material energy. And he is directing. Means what? Who is the controller? Krishna is a controller. So in our heart, there are two entities. One is called soul, which is we. Another is called super soul, which is Paramatma. Write it down. Soul and super soul. Soul is my individual Atma, and super soul is Paramatma. Both are sitting in the heart. So this body does not belong to us. This is a rented body. Which body? It is rented to the living entity for a higher purpose. Okay. We have a choice to misuse this body, or we have a choice to use it for the purpose. And what is the misuse and what is the use? So the purpose of this body or this machine given to the soul is self-realization, which soul has forgotten. Soul has forgotten that he is a part and parcel of the Supreme Soul or the Supreme Lord. He has forgotten. He is not realized now. He has lost his realization. Who is he? There's a huge identity crisis in terms of what is my actual constitutional position as a soul. Forgotten. So this body is given to revive this consciousness. And hence it is called self-realization. Realize yourself first. Manage yourself first before managing others. First self-realization, first self-management, and then managing others. So currently, we may claim to be very intelligent, very educated, very civilized, but the truth is, we don't even know who we are. What is our identity? Forgotten. So this yantra, this body, is given to revive this consciousness. To revive, to remind us. And why do we forget? Krishna bhuliya jeev bhog vancha kare. बोलिए मेरे साथ. कृष्ण भूलिया जीव भोग वांछा करे. बोलिए. भोग वांछा करे. पाछाते खड़ी माया झपटिया धरे. So what does it mean? Krishna has two types of energies. One is called material energy, जिसको हम माया बोलते हैं या महामाया बोलते हैं उसको. Material energy. So everything in this material world is an expansion of material energy. And second is called spiritual energy. That is called Yoga Maya, not Mahamaya. Both are Maya. Maya means energy of the Lord. So one is Mahamaya or material energy, another is Yoga Maya or the spiritual energy. So this body is made up of material energy. Earth, water, fire, और क्या होता है? आकाश, अग्नि, पंच महाभूत. So the moment living entity forgets that he is a part and parcel of Krishna, immediately he comes under the influence of material energy. He gets this material body for the purpose of reviving again that I am a part of Krishna. That is the purpose of this body. Purpose of the body is not to, do sense gratification. Khao, piyo, ash karo. That is not the purpose of body. That is misuse of the body. Misuse of the machine or yantra given to living entity to revive his consciousness. Making sense? So till the time we don't revive this consciousness, based on our karmas, we'll keep getting new different types of bodies made up of material body. The highlight is only in human body one can revive consciousness. That's why human body is special. A dog cannot, cat cannot, ant cannot, ass cannot, pig cannot, elephant cannot, tiger cannot, a tree cannot. Only human being, because of special intelligence given or awarded to him, he can revive his consciousness using different aids Krishna has provided, like Bhagavad Gita, devotees, Mahamantra, Prasadam, holy places. These are all enablers or aids provided by Krishna to revive our consciousness that we are not this body, we are a part and parcel of Krishna, a spirit, soul. So if one is not even thinking about spirit, soul, he doesn't know, his life is wasted already. He may do wonderful things in his material life, but end of the life, if somebody has to rate, what did he achieve? He achieved nothing in his life. Nothing means nothing. Only karmas which will bind him in the next life. That is the only earning. No earning. So this yantra, this body, is given to be used spiritually to revive our forgotten consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is a controller of these senses or the proprietor of these senses. We are not. So if you don't use it the way proprietor is suggesting in Bhagavad Gita, it is called misuse of this yantra or this body or this machine. Making sense? या ऊपर से जा रहा है, बाउंस हो रहा है जी? You can stop me if you're not understood before I proceed. Making sense? इनकी खिड़कियां बंद है, windows are closed. They're also able to follow.
Prabhuji, definitely making sense, but question comes, how majority of people, maybe 99% or 98%, are still misusing the body?
Yes.
There are only 0.1% like you who are not misusing body.
Like you also now. You also now.
well, maybe we coming in the next 0.1%, but the fact is that bulk of the people in the whole world over are misusing their body, living whole life, doing nothing.
Yes, that is the reality. That's why there are 80 lakh species of animals birds, reptiles, only 4 lakh species of human beings.
True.
That is a reality.
Again, my question comes: how do you reverse
Because
it?
being Krishna consciousness requires some sincere effort, austerity, which everybody is not. No, every great thing, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, everything that is cheap is not great, and everything that is great is not cheap. So it is not cheap. Everybody cannot afford it. In a jewelry shop, you don't find too many people. In sabji shop, you'll find a lot of people. They can afford sabji. They can't afford jewelry. So everybody can't afford knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janmanam ante. It takes many, many lifetimes. Jnanavan mam prapadyate. One understands this knowledge. Vasudevam sarvam iti. That Krishna is everything. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. What is Durlabha? Very rare. And Sudurlabha, very, very rare. So people who are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita or trying to live according to Bhagavad Gita, they are rarest of rare, people. So they're not ordinary people. They're very special people. Then again, Krishna will tell later on, Manushya Nam Sahastreshu, out of thousands and thousands, one will try to get this knowledge. And out of those thousands, one will understand. And out of those thousands, one will practically apply. So the very rarest species of people who are sincere students of Bhagavad Gita. That's why it is attracting, intelligent class of people. Anybody who is giving little effort to understand Bhagavad Gita, he is immediately attracted. Because this is real science. Now, what we have studied in our, +2 graduation or masters, that is not science. Real science is this, which can solve the problem from its root. Material science is like paracetamol, can superficially, temporarily solve the problem. Give you temporary relief, not permanent. So this is Rishikesha. Evam uktva Rishikesham. So what is Sanjay trying to indicate to Dhritarashtra? Though Arjuna is putting his bow and arrow aside for the time being, but the real controller of his senses is Krishna, who is there along with him. And he has taken shelter of Krishna. So now, just wait. Arjuna is going to lift his bow and arrow again. That's why he's in Rishikesha. Just wait and watch this Rashtra. Don't be so happy that Arjuna is, trying to run away from the battlefield. He wants to become beggar. No. Rishikesha. He is under the shelter of Rishikesha, who is controlling his senses. So soon he will lift the bow and arrow. And then Gudakesha. Gudakesha means Arjuna. Gudakesha means one who has conquered sleep or ignorance. Gudakesha. So why he is using the term Gudakesha for Arjuna? Same message he is trying to give to Dhritarashtra. He might sound ignorant now and putting aside his bow and arrow, but he has conquered ignorance. He'll come back. Why? अभी पिछले श्लोक में he took shelter of Krishna. So one who has taken shelter of Krishna, his victory is guaranteed. His success in life is guaranteed. That's a message Sanjay is giving to whom? Dhritarashtra. Parantapaha, chastiser of enemy. Arjuna is another name. Parantapaha. He was very powerful, no? He was the best, what do you call? क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Best what?
धनुर्वीर,
English में क्या बोलते हैं?
archer,
Archer. You're the best archer. Most powerful. You know how he one dropped the, no? नीचे देखते ऊपर निशान लगाया. His guru told him कि never give him anything to eat in the darkness. Why? So once it happened, he was eating in the darkness and he saw his hand automatically goes to the mouth even if there's no light. Right, no? If it's dark, your hand is so practiced, it will straight away go into the mouth. It will not go into ears. Will it? Or light nahi hai, so it might go to the eyes, so I should not eat. No, it doesn't happen that way. So Arjuna was thinking, if through this practice, during darkness, ये निशाना perfect है, यानी कि खाना सीधा मुंह में जाता है. If I practice during darkness, I can shoot the arrow also on my target. So he started practicing in the night also. He'll not sleep. 24 hours he'll practice. So he conquered sleep. That's why he's called Gudakesha. That's why he was able to do this without even looking at the eye of the fish. He was able to shoot the eye. Practice. So he is telling Dhritarashtra that Arjuna told Krishna, Govinda. What is Govinda? Govinda means who gives. Go has two meanings: senses and cow. Our senses and cow. So one who gives pleasure to our senses and cow is called Govinda. So what is the message here? Why is calling Govinda? Arjuna is looking very distressed now, but soon he will be blissful. Don't worry. Why? Krishna is with him. Govinda is with him. He might look very distressed, stressful now. Because he has taken shelter of Krishna, he will be peaceful. He will be blissful very soon. So don't you become very happy, Dhritarashtra, looking at the current condition of Arjuna. Soon he will be out of ignorance. Soon he'll lift his bow and arrow. Soon he'll become blissful. Why? Abhi just now, in the previous verse, he took shelter of Krishna. That is the essence of this verse. Okay. And the next 10th number verse. Then we'll stop. Tam uvacha rishikesha prahasan eva bharata senyarabhyor madhe vishidantam vidam vacha. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Okay? So now Krishna is smiling. Arjuna is distressed and he's smiling. He's smiling. Why? Because Arjuna has now taken shelter of him. He is happy that living entity is taking my shelter. Soon he'll be out of all the distress. That's why in the last chapter, Krishna says, which is the essence of entire Bhagavad Gita. He says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. He said, abandon all the other variety of dharmas you have concocted. Simply take shelter of me. And what is the advantage? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I'll burn all your sinful reactions. He's giving guarantee. You take shelter of me exclusively. I will burn all the reactions of your past sinful deeds. We may be eating non-vegetarian past, we may be, intoxicating, we may have, illicit relationships in past, but now we have taken shelter of Krishna. He's saying, I am guaranteeing you all your past sinful reactions will be burnt. It's a ray of hope for all of us, because all of us have a history which is not good, not healthy. But we don't need to worry about it. Sometimes we worry, no, अरे मैं इतना काम कर दिया, इतने पाप कर दिया, उसका क्या होगा? But Krishna is saying, don't worry. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Then he is thinking, you may be doubtful, na? ऐसा होगा कि नहीं होगा? He says, mokshashyami mashusha. Arey, don't worry, I am guaranteeing you. Don't be afraid. Mashusha means don't worry. I will take care of your sinful reactions when you take exclusive shelter of me. So he's smiling. Arjuna has taken shelter of me means he's out of all problems. He'll be out of all problems very soon. Purport. The talk was going on between intimate friends, namely the Rishikesha and Gudakesha. As friends, both of them were on the same level, but one of them voluntarily became a student of the other. Krishna was smiling because a friend had chosen to become a disciple. As Lord of all, he is always in the superior position as the master of everyone. And yet the Lord agrees to be a friend, a son, a lover for a devotee who wants him in such a role. But when he was accepted as the master, he at once assumed the role and talked with the disciple like the master, with gravity, as it is required. It appears that the talk between master and disciple was openly exchanged in the presence of both armies so that all were benefited. So the talks of Bhagavad Gita are not for any particular person, society, or community, but they are for all. And friends or enemies are equally entitled to hear them. Okay. So he's saying, Prabhupada is saying, now Krishna will speak with lot of gravity. Why? He has taken the position of a guru. You know the meaning of guru? मैंने बताया था, आपको याद होगा. क्या बताया था?
One who dispels the ignorance.
Very good. Gu shabtu andhakara, tu shabtu tat nirodhak. Gu means ignorance and tat nirodhak means who removes or dispels this ignorance is guru. Guru means heavy. Guru is a very heavy tattva, not ordinary. Maybe I'll take exclusive session only on guru. What is the meaning of guru? And we have made this word so cheap by using it for, table tennis guru and lawn tennis guru, or, harmonium guru, or this guru and that guru. This is misuse of this word. It's a very heavy word. So he'll speak with gravity. What gravity? In the first verse, he will chastise Arjuna. You see next session. Chastise. If you remember, he chastised Arjuna. Now he's going to chastise. Big time. So Guru's chastisement is also a benediction. Remember, if Guru chastises, that is also to be taken very positively. To be taken very positively. कभी डांट पड़ जाए क्लास में, बुरा नहीं मानना है. That is the message. Okay. And then Prabhupada is writing, Krishna can assume any role based on devotee's emotion. If devotee wants to see Krishna as a lover, he'll come as a lover. Want to see him as a guru, he'll come as a guru. Want to see him as a friend, he'll come as a friend. Want to see him as a child, he'll come as a child. You know? Arjuna and Krishna had friendly relationship. It's called Sakhya Bhav. Yashoda, Nanda Baba and Krishna had Vasalya Bhav. Gopis, Radharani and Krishna had Madhurya Bhav. Sudama and Krishna had Dasya Bhav. So he reciprocates with different devotees based on how they want him to reciprocate with him. Okay. This is speciality of Krishna. Everybody thinking, how would I want Krishna to be? Like a lover or a friend or a okay. So here we'll stop, and then 11th verse basically is the starting of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is from first chapter only, but when Krishna is actually talking about Siddhanta is verse number 11 of second chapter. Okay. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Now you can ask questions if you have. Yes, Madan Prabhu.
प्रभु जी लास्ट लेक्चर में लास्ट संडे को आपने जब शुरू किया था लेक्चर आपने कहा था कि देयर आर 3 प्रॉब्लम्स विद कॉमन ह्यूमन बीइंग एंड यू लिस्टेड देम नो वन वांट्स इट एवरीवन हैज इट बट थर्ड में मिस कर गया था व्हाट वाज द थर्ड वन
It is common to all. No one wants it. No one.
sorry again
It is common to all.
yeah
No one wants it.
right
No one can avoid it.
no one has that okay thank
And
you
what are these real problems? Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Common to all. No one wants it, but no one can avoid it.
Janam
Jara,
Mrityu and
Jara, Vyadhi.
Janam
Janam
Mrityu.
means birth, Mrityu means death, Jara means old age, and Vyadhi means disease.
Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Prabhuji, sorry.
Yes, Divesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was reading this purport again of 2.9. Sorry, it's a basic question. So one part is translation. The purport is like the interpretation, because like in the shloka, nowhere is say Dhritarashtra mentioned. But
Sorry?
if we in the shlok, it says that Sanjay said that this happened. But in the purport, it is about emotions of Dhritarashtra as well.
So Dhritarashtra is audience, no? Whom Sanjay is speaking to? Dhritarashtra.
Okay.
So Sanjay is explaining what is happening in the battlefield in the palace of Dhritarashtra. He was given a special vision to see what is happening on the battlefield by Vyasadeva. So he is a speaker, and who is the audience? Dhritarashtra.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in this previous purport, means we learned Arjuna was Budakesa. Budakesa means master of this ignorance also. So if he's master of ignorance, then how he was so much confused regarding this? He should not fight in the battle.
Very good. So whenever Krishna has to execute something,
Right.
Krishna uses his dear devotees. Like now Krishna's intention is to reveal Bhagavad Gita to all of us. It is not for Arjuna. But Arjuna has become only an instrument to deliver Bhagavad Gita so that we can hear it and apply it. So if Arjuna is confused, it is due to Krishna only. Because who is sitting in the heart of Krishna or Arjuna? Krishna.
Krishna.
So Krishna can confuse or bewilder anyone, na?
Right.
So this temporary bewilderment of Arjuna is to create a platform to deliver Bhagavad Gita to all of us. Like he bewildered Parishit Maharaj, he wanted to give Bhagavatam to all of us, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Parishit Maharaj became instrument to reveal Srimad Bhagavatam. Arjuna became instrument to reveal Bhagavad Gita. So they are only instruments. We should not see them as ordinary people.
Yeah. Cause of all causes.
Yes. Okay. Very good question. Anyone else? No more question? Okay. Now you have another homework. If you do it, then I will give. Otherwise, there's no point giving. If you all give me assurance that you'll do it, then I can give some homework. Can I?
Yes, 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 we'll do it.
Okay. Can I get assurance for everyone, please?
You tried once again, Prabhuji. Give us one more chance.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, the first homework is again remember Prabhupada Pranam mantra. Okay, so if you recite it 5 times every day, which will take 2 or 3 minutes, not more than that, you will be able to remember it by end of.
Prabhuji, आपने कब भेजा था ये?
ये मैंने
Last
last Sunday को भेज दिया था.
Okay.
Last Sunday it sent.
Traveling, so देख नहीं पाया सारे में.
हाँ, last. You're back in India, is it? Okay. So you read the purport, translation purport of 2.7. Okay? 2.7. And write down key learnings in your language. Don't copy from purport. In your language. You read it 2-3 times, meditate on this, and pen down. What did you learn from this purport? 2.7. Okay, very important verse. As I mentioned, it's a turning point in Bhagavad Gita.
Prabhuji, which one is 2.7?
Second chapter, 7 verse, Karpanya dosha upasvabhava.
2.7 was about importance of Guru, right?
हाँ, पढ़ो उसको. Yes. Read that verse. Purport and write down maybe key highlights in your language. Huh? Because when you write in your language, you have to meditate, contemplate. And maybe you can post it in the group also.
Is it the Karpanya dosha one?
Yes. Prabhuji.
Okay. So text 7.
Text 7.
Yeah. Okay.
ठीक है जी. I'm sure you relish doing this homework. It's very nice. 2 बज गया. So today we are winding up our class exactly on time, dot on time. है ना? Thank you very much. You all are wonderful students, very sincere. Yeah? So you're already getting blessed by Krishna, I can see. Hare Krishna. All of you chanting?
Your motivation.
Chanting? And on target, like we remember we had target to chant certain number of rounds by end of chapter 1. Are you on target or behind target? Sri Gopal Krishna ji, आपका क्या स्कोर है?
8.
Yes, Prabhuji. Shri Gopal Prabhuji?
8.
8. Oh, very good. Wonderful. Anybody else would like to share your score? Don't feel shy, even if it is behind target. Don't worry.
Prabhuji, we are still at 1.
One each or milake one?
1 each. 1 each. 1 each.
Okay, one each. Okay, very good. We are doing one consistently every day, na? Okay. Anybody else would like to share?
I'm doing 2 rounds.
2 rounds, Preeti Mataji. Okay. Anybody else?
I am doing same 1 round. Means
Okay.
consistent, but
Consistently 1 round. Anybody else?
Two.
Okay. 2. Uma Mataji 2. Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody else? 1, Dipesh Prabhu. Okay. बाकी सर झुका के बैठे हैं.
I am also doing 1 round, Guruji.
Acha Rajiv, don't call me Guruji. I said Guru is very heavy word. I am very light. Call me Prabhuji. Okay. So 1, okay, very good. So please try to be in line with the target. ठीक है जी? Because I'll revise this target next class. Because you're moving ahead now. You have to move ahead accordingly. Okay. So by end of 2.30, so next section of, body and soul will be over by, let's say, 2.30, which is end of next section, another 20 verses. So by that time, everybody should be chanting 8 rounds every day. Okay, so please pick up. Okay, Meera Mataji. As I mentioned, this is the main business of life. Okay, so treat it that way. Purpose of this body. थोड़ा सा इधर उधर घूमना थोड़ा कम करेंगे, थोड़ा समय भगवान को दीजिए. Gives little more time. And how much time? 8 rounds मतलब 1 hour. 1 hour 5 minutes 10 minutes. 24 hours. No, I'm not asking too much. Am I? No, na? Copper thinking I am already on 8. Okay, no worry. You try. हाँ जी प्रभु जी.
क्या है कि हम लोग ऑलरेडी कुछ करते थे पूरा about 20-25 minutes, वो हमने बंद नहीं करी हुई है, इसको ऐड किया है. तो
वैसे आप छोड़ दूंगा, but if you chant महामंत्र ना, it includes all the mantras.
So, but we do. I'm sorry, I'm discussing my personal issue with you.
No problem. That is for everybody's benefit.
Because we do Om Namo Shivaya 3 rounds. We do this Hanuman Chalisa every day. Along with that, we do one mantra for 9 times for Shani Devta. So that we have been doing for many years. तो वो बंद नहीं कर रहे हैं हम, इसमें हमने ऐड कर लिया 10 मिनट का एक और या 8-10 मिनट का, इसलिए तो वो छोड़ा नहीं जा रहा है, वो क्योंकि वो
आप उसको अभी मत छोड़ो, आप इसको बढ़ाओ.
हाँ, वो वही थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है. तो हम सोच ये रहे हैं कि जैसे हम सुबह करते हैं, एक शाम को कर लेंगे तो शायद 1 का 2 हो जाएगा.
मैं आप ना you write down a daily schedule.
Sorry?
After you get up till you go to sleep.
Yeah.
What is your daily schedule?
Okay.
Then you'll find it very easy to fit.
We already have a schedule actually. We follow schedule very religiously from 6 in the morning, say 5:30 in the morning till 10:30 at night.
Then you have to do little prioritization.
Okay. In this probably but because other day you said we morning में करना चाहिए. अगर हमें परमिशन मिल जाए कि आप 1 सुबह कर लो या 2 सुबह कर लो,
मैं कह रहा हूँ दिन भर में करो आप, ठीक है?
चलो ठीक है, फिर तो पॉसिबल है.
लेकिन एक चीज है प्रभु जी, हमने चाहे ट्रेवल कर रहे थे चाहे प्लेन में थे, even then we were doing one.
Very good. No, you both are very sincere. You're trying to attend the class, even if you're in Malaysia or in Bombay or Delhi. That reflects your sincerity. No doubt.
वो तो आपकी मोटिवेशन है, not otherwise. We were not like that. ये आपकी मोटिवेशन है.
मेरी motivation. Krishna is inspiring from within.
Thank you so
Paramatma
much.
is in every. Paramatma knows who is sincere, who is not sincere. He knows very well. You know?
Thank you so much.
So
We are
don't worry.
blessed.
And when if you put little effort, na, you ask Krishna to help you, and Krishna will help you.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else has any question? Burning question? Okay. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakt Vrinda ki jai. See you next week. Hare Krishna.